Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Lighting Your Sunshine, where we like to shine a light within and empower ourselves. So, that one was quick. Yeah, no insights, just that I felt called that I wanted to use this deck. So what are we using? We're using Wonderland Tarot. And then to mix it up, oh, that's not the deck case, that was the whole stack. We're gonna use Care Bears. And so, what am I being drawn to? Actually, I'm being drawn to the Care Bear movie, where they go to Wonderland and rescue the princess from the Jabberwocky. And so, nothing more, nothing less, I hear. Okay, quite a bit of reversals. Let's see which ones are actually in reverse. So the first one to come out was, is that the Empress? Yeah, was the Empress in reverse. So here we have the white queen, and she's not feeling confident about herself. If you look at her face, like she's really worried about something. What is she worried about? Well, right beside her is the King of Swords with Humpty Dumpty. So we all know his story, how he has a big fall, and things just couldn't be put back together again after that. So I'm hearing whatever it is that's being navigated through is a very important situation. It has consequences, and your actions could depict the future, everything that you deal with from here on out. But I'm also hearing that it's also, if you put too much of the negative thinking into it, especially with the King of Swords, it's all about having truth, right? Not to, in the negative, in the reverse, I mean, it's more like sharp tongue, mean, that kind of thing. And so I could see being worried about that energy, but truth, well, the truth is the truth, and there's not much you can do about it. So the next two also come out in reverse, which I didn't see what this one was until the end. But we have the Knight of Cups. And so here we have this king, and he's going ever so slow. He's going through the jungle. He's going through rivers. But slow and steady, I hear, wins the race. And then over here we have the Ten of Swords. Nope, Ten of Wands, and it was in reverse. So Ten of Wands is about having too much of a burden that you just can't do it anymore. That it's like the straw that broke the camel's back. So that's what I see, is him finally like busting out of that and like, relief. So I see the Empress being worried about all these things, and in the end it's saying like, don't worry, because you can get through this. You can lighten your load. You don't have to worry about the worst case scenario all the time. But I do want to read about the Knight of Cups, because I kind of want to hear what they say his journey is. So here's some cups. Page and Knight. So we've already met this wonderfully sweet knight in the Hermit card. The White Knight is a very apt Knight of Cups. With his dreamy idealism, when Alice seems sad, he says, "Let me sing you a song to comfort you." Alice, who had heard a great deal of poetry already, asked if it was long. He replied, "It's long, but it's very, very beautiful. Everybody that hears me sing, either it brings tears to their eyes, or else, trailing off mid-sentence, as a true dreamer of dreams and singer of sad songs is wont to do." Alice's reaction to him is very Alice's reaction to him in this very description of a Knight of Cups character. I don't know why that's so hard to say, but who talks like that? Okay. So I was like, that last story is done. We're done. We're closing the book. But in it, there was the musician in reverse. And it was always talking about poetry in all the last readings. And you know what? I knew the Care Bears were coming in to help, And when I did, I got to Grumpy Bear. So when he said that he's here to sing a song to something that's sad, maybe you're sad that the book did end. This is a new part of the masculine attracted to that devil energy is not in this reading. So thank goodness that has been kind of closed and shut off. But I feel like the sadness and the lingering kind of still continues. And that's why I like scrunched up my face. I was like, oh, are they coming into this reading too? But yeah, only because there's still a little bit of residual things left over. And when I do these readings, I do picture someone in mind. And I know that this person has been through a tough journey, because the masculine energy that they deal with is so manipulative, and I know how much their heart they care. So I did, when I pulled this, I did get Grumpy Bear. There's a little bit of like madness to it. And so welcome to the tea party, right? You can be mad, you can give into madness, but in yesterday's reading was all about channeling it into art or something like that. So in this one, right, he wants to sing the sad song. And then at the beginning, it was like expecting the worst. And like, that's kind of what I see is like, we stop the story there because we don't need to focus on the sad. I think you know. And so to constantly dwell in that sadness and keep going and going and going, all it's going to do is just keep you kind of burdened, because you freed yourself from that. You're not in it anymore. And so there's a bit of lightening up to happen, some celebrations to come ahead, and the truth hurts, but the truth will also set you free. So on the Care Bear cards, we got the Six of Pentacles with Birthday Bear. And so what's inside you is what you're going to manifest outside of yourself. So he's sitting there and he's like, I love, right? I don't know, maybe your birthday is coming up, or a reason to celebrate. Because right beside it, okay, so the next one is the Six of Hearts. He's sitting there and he's just like thinking about celebrating. I love cupcakes. I love cake. I love cake. I love cake. Boom, look, he went and found a cake. Or, because this one came first, it's almost like, I'm hearing you are what you eat, but you are what you think and feel. So to constantly dwell on the sad songs, the sadness, those kind of things, it doesn't help you, right? I'm seeing the Humpty Dumpty be kind of like broken. But in this situation, he's not broken. He's whole. He's sitting on the top and he's got his, what is he got? He's got his book. It doesn't say what kind of book it is on it, but it didn't happen. So to constantly, in the past it might have happened, but there's something new coming. There's more cupcakes. There's more everything to be excited for and look for. So in this one, it's like you did the work, right? You started a new book. You said, screw starting a new chapter. I'm gonna start a new book. And so you did, and you found really cool things along the way, new experiences to go and try. And so this one I see like sitting in gratitude, like, because normally this would be what, Six of Cups. And I just see, I almost see that as like that childhood nostalgic memories. Remember that time I had that really good cupcake? That's what he's thinking. Because you could think about even farther into the last book, but we don't need to know. That book is closed. In that book, it was awful. But I'm kind of, as I look on camera, it looks like the vines almost make a heart on here. Is there actually? No, there's not, but when I look on camera, there is. And then we have this Knight of Cups, who's a poet and sings and knows how to tell a story. And it's just saying, what story do you want to hear? Yeah, maybe that sadness could bring a tear to your eye and invoke emotion. And if you had those experiences, I'm not telling you not to talk about them or sing about them. I'm saying externally what you feed, cupcakes from everything outside of you, is what you need to be mindful of. If what you are inside is sad and that's what needs to be channeled up and out, I'm gonna say sing your song from the top of the trees, because maybe you could be that Knight of Cups that inspires someone. But if you're feeling good and you choose to listen to sadness to bring you back to that, do not recommend. 5 stars out of 5 stars, do not recommend. Because the next one to come is, this was in reverse. And I want to say that's Cheer Bear. And that's like three of hearts would be like community and going out and sharing with others. So to have that, I don't know, I almost see like good things happening and you being like feeling bad that you're having this awesome moment. And it's like, well, I wish so-and-so could be here. Yeah, but that person made choices and they're stuck in that other book. And if you were still in that book, you wouldn't be at this moment sitting in the gratitude of the new experiences that you get. So maybe you have a little bit of wobbly legs to start, and you might feel like you're broken, but you're not. You're sitting here and you got the Sword of Truth. And when I think of the Sword of Truth, I think of Archangel Michael and heavily protected. I'm hearing a quote, but I don't know it. And I feel like it might be Wizard of Oz. But yeah, so maybe you feel wobbly. Maybe you think you might fall. Maybe you might all these things. But slow and steady, right? Just a little bit at a time is what you've got to do. And each time you do, each time you choose a higher thought, this or that, well, I choose this. Because you know what? I don't think you had choices before. I think this saying has been coming up to me, and I weaponized incompetence. I feel like that's what got thrown at you all the time. And in this weaponized incompetence, you didn't get to make a choice because this other person was like, well, I can't do it. I don't know how to do things. I'm immature. Nobody taught me. And they did. They just knew that if they played dumb, that you would pick up the slack. And look how much you're carrying. And underneath that is like Funshine Bear. So it's kind of like light. Once you kind of like let go of all that other person's karma, responsibilities, burdens, you rose. And so that person's shattered on the ground, not feeling the best, but you're light. You're like, do. So here I see this kind of tied to Humpty Dumpty, and he's not going to fall. He won't, because he's got this lightness to him. In fact, it's going to just go out of it. He can't break and crack on the ground because now it's out of sight. It's raised to such a higher frequency that it's out of this world. 1 second. Oh, I think it might be possibly quoted by Dr. Seuss. Period. But anyways, what is that quote and who said it? Yeah, it was. Okay, so I kept hearing, especially when I was looking at this one, I was looking at the crown and I was looking at the feet. And I kept hearing, like, you've got brains in something and blah, blah, blah. And so it is Dr. Seuss. And I'm glad I kind of waited till after this because you're going to rise up to this really higher thing. But the quote I kept hearing is from Oh, the Places You'll Go by Dr. Seuss. It says, you have brains in your head, you have feet in your shoes, you can steer yourself any direction you choose. It's a higher thought. You can focus on the lack, the whatever, the low vibe and energy, but that's a choice. I see you being higher vibe and be like, I need the sad song, and then, now I'm having a bad day. And it's like, why? You could choose love. You could choose gratitude. You can choose joy. And then to end off this reading, because I think this is just a really quick reading, but we did have Grumpy Bear, but it was in reverse. So Grumpy Bear is underneath the burden. Once you let go of that, then you won't be grumpy anymore. It's that easy. It's almost like in this one, a choice. Now, I'm not saying that all life lessons aren't a big deal, something like that, but whoever this story's for, You've already worked through really major things that they're no longer things anymore. They're ghosts of Christmas past. And so you don't have to deal with it. It's not your circus, not your monkeys anymore. Which that reading hopefully will be coming out soon, but I'm almost done the book. And maybe there might be some insights in there, because yesterday's reading was all about rumors and gossip and those things, and maybe a little bit of residual that's coming. It did affect you. You try not to let things affect you, but we got Tenderheart here. Just wanted to pull one more. But there seems to be a theme between birthdays, cupcakes, and they seem to be playing ball. Don't get the reference to that. What about it? Maybe I see that as like Humpty Dumpty. And like thinking you're very fragile and you're going to get hit and broke. But you're not. Just keep going slow and steady. That's it. You're going to go see really cool, amazing things. And again, they say end off in the quote. I did pull just like one more just to look at the end. And it's the Chariot. And they're playing croquet. So there's something about like hitting onto the next. I see like golf, or there's baseball here. Next base, next course, next something. And yesterday's was all about going to the next book. So to end this, you have brains in your head. You're ridiculously smart. You know this. So you have brains in your head. You have feet in your shoes. You can steer yourself any direction you choose. And so I see reaching higher thoughts, happiness, love, gratitude, and appreciation. And once you have that, I see confidence coming a bit better, being more stable and grounded. And the last thing I kind of want to show is, there's just a little kitty here, Dinah. But we got Mr. Monster. Mr. Monster's still here. We got a little white kitty. And Mr. Monster, do you think that it's possible to choose your own destiny? Even if you get a name like Mr. Monster, you could still be very much loving. And you can raise your vibration. How does Mr. Monster raise his vibration? He purrs. Right, Dino Monster? Mister? But yeah, healing frequencies. That's what you're doing. You're healing. You're rising to a higher vibe, and you're going to meet a higher vibe and tribe. And it's going to be fun. And it's going to be exciting. And it's going to be happy. You're going to feel less stress, less burden. You're going to feel more smart and confident in your choices. You're going to feel more grounded and stable where you walk. Just confidence. That's what I see. And then I heard confidence is key. So the key to the next door is your confidence in yourself. So we'll leave it there. I hope you have a good day. And we'll see you next time. Bye, guys.